there, folks. Welcome back to Rule of Thumb. Sorry about the lack of videos lately, but as I've told you previously, we are preparing for a move. So we have been dealing with the rental agency and, you know, just kind of getting everything finalized. We're about to start moving, hopefully next week. But I wanted to jump on here, say hi to you folks, touch base, see how everybody's doing. And I thought I'd do a quick Cookbook Corner with a book that I found at a used bookstore. We went to meet some friends for brunch, and there was a used bookstore right there, so we thought we'd pop in, and I found this book, and I just thought it was fun and something different that we could talk about. So, the book we're going to talk about today is this. So you can all see it. It is Breaking Bread with Father Dominic, as seen on public television. It's by Father Dominic Garramone, and he is a monk. Now, I never saw the public television program, so if any of you guys have seen it, comment down below. And let me know. He published the book. The copyright on this is 1999, so it's not as old as some of the books that I pick up, but it just seemed like it was going to be fun and different. So, sorry, I have to apologize. I'm still dealing with this cold, even after about 6 weeks. So, Father Dominic Garramone is a Benedictine monk at St. Bede Abbey in Peru, a small town in northern Illinois. So, not far from me. I mean, I'm in Ohio, so he's not, wasn't terribly far from me. And the introduction tells you a little bit about his life, which was really interesting. And then it moves on from there, and the beginning of the book is really kind of a little bit of a learning annex. So it talks about flours, about yeast, about some of the other ingredients, liquids, salt, sugar, fats, and oils. It talks about equipment, mixing, kneading, rising, baking. So, it kind of just goes through the basics of bread baking, which I appreciate. And then, it starts into the chapters from there. And let me go back to the beginning here. I can read you what the sections are. So there's basic breads. There's from breakfast to dessert, veggie breads, sourdough, ethnic breads, specialty breads, and pizza plus. So, your basic breads, he has a basic white. And one of the really cool things that he does in here is, so he has a basic white bread recipe that you can make using, a mixer, or even making it by hand and kneading it in the whole 9 yards. And then he has the conversion of the basic white bread recipe for a bread machine. And not a lot of books do that. They're kind of written either or. Either it's a bread recipe to make by hand, quote unquote by hand, whether you use a mixer or not, or in a bread machine, because there is a difference in how you make the dough. So for a lot of the recipes in here, not all of the recipes, but for a lot of the recipes he does do that. Then he goes on to basic rolls, same thing, one regular, one bread machine, basic whole wheat, same again. And then he rounds up the basic breads with sweet cornmeal muffins, which I thought was really interesting that he included that in basic breads, because the cornmeal muffin can be a great staple side dish to any meal. So I thought that was pretty appropriately placed. Then we go right into from breakfast to dessert, caramel apple cinnamon rolls, sausage roll-ups. The other thing I really appreciate about this book is it's spiral bound. So, and they're metal spirals inside of a hardcover book, which I thought was really unique. But it does make it easy so you can lay it flat, which I have come to appreciate as a feature of a book. So, butter pecan breakfast bread, shortcake, apricot skillet bread, funnel cakes, raisin bread, cinnamon swirl bread. I mean, all of these are good standards. You know what I mean? Cinnamon swirl bread for the bread machine. Veggie breads is the next section. Chop block bread, which he uses a basic whole wheat bread recipe, and then he adds cheddar cheese, chopped onion, chopped carrots, chopped broccoli, chopped celery, and he uses lavage, which uh, I haven't seen that since I was a kid, but I think he has a description in here. Oh yeah, so he says lavage is a plant with dark greens, celery-like leaves. The flavor is that of a very strong celery. The seeds are commonly called celery seeds. If lavage is not available, substitute 1 teaspoon of celery seeds. So it is in. I don't know if it is technically in the celery family, but it's in that same flavor profile. So I just thought that was kind of a cool, different recipe. Pesto spirals, zucchini cheese batter bread, milk, egg, oil, sugar, a little bit of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, yeast, caraway seeds, white pepper, salt, bread flour, Swiss cheese, and zucchini. And I was like really intrigued by that. So that one is definitely going on my list as something I'm going to try. Spinach swirl, which I thought was really interesting because, I mean, essentially you're making a bread, a basic white bread, and you're swirling in a mixture of spinach, walnuts, and feta cheese into the bread. Yes, please. So, again, another one that will be on my list of things to try. Then we go into sourdough breads. I gotta tell you, I am not an expert on sourdough. In fact, I know very little about it, but it is something that I definitely want to learn more about and kind of play with a little bit more, especially once we get in our new place and we have more space where I could keep a starter going and, you know, nurture it and make sourdough from it. So that is definitely on my list. So it talks, he has a bunch of sourdough recipes: baguettes, whole wheat herb sourdough. Sorry, apparently I can't turn the page today. Sourdough onion rye bread, sourdough pumpernickel bread, which I never really thought about rye and pumpernickel as sourdoughs, but I like that idea too. Then we go into ethnic breads. Austrian Pavetica, which is a basic white bread with bacon, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 6 eggs, and walnuts. Never heard of it before. Might be willing to try it. Swedish Limpa rye bread. Very cool. Syrian bread. Tomato basil focaccia, or focaccia, or focaccia. I mean, everybody pronounces it different. Southwest cornmeal muffins, fugazi. I wonder if he has a description of that. Well, it has water, yeast, whole wheat, buckwheat, salt, olive oil, ripe olives, bread flour. So it's kind of an olive bread, but kind of a multi-grain olive bread. So that might be interesting. Challah, which obviously you all know, I've made a lot of challah in my day. Hot cross buns. Then we go into specialty breads. Breadcrumb bread. Now, I read the directions on how to make this, and this is just super interesting. But you use a cup of dry breadcrumbs, hot water, molasses, butter, salt, yeast, vital wheat gluten, whole wheat graham flour, and bread flour. So another one I'd be willing to give a shot. Hog bottom rolls, which are basically kind of a twist on a crescent roll. Pull apart garlic bread, honey oatmeal bread, which my friend Heather makes an amazing honey oatmeal bread. But I'd be willing to try that. Also, whole wheat stuffing bread, another bread that she makes that's amazing. Ezekiel's 6-grain bread, and that's a little bit more advanced for me. I mean, this has got whole wheat graham flour, lentil flour, white bean flour, barley flour, millet flour, organic spelt flour. I mean, that's for a serious bread maker. But it's not to say I couldn't work up to it. And then the Pizza Plus section, which I thought was kind of fun and interesting, has obviously a pizza dough, and then it talks about making some toppings like Papa Dom's pizza topping, turkey sausage, and then it's got like salad stuff like crostini, croutons, herb spreads. There's a recipe for potenza meatballs in here, and a meatless chili soup, which is definitely on my list of things to try, because y'all know I'm on a mission to can some soups for lunches on my shelves, because the soups that you saw me can in January, the hamburger vegetable soup and the zuppa toscana, are both almost gone already. So I need to get some more soups done. But this is kidney beans, pinto beans, garlic, onion, bay, thyme, marjoram, vegetable broth, tomatoes, tomato juice, brown rice, which I could leave that out if I canned it, and cayenne pepper and chili powder. And I could make up the brown rice and have it in the refrigerator and have a portion of it to add into the soup for lunches. So that's definitely on my list. So that's my cookbook corner for today. There's not really going to be any pictures inserted in here because there isn't really photography in here. I will include an Amazon link. I found it on Amazon for like $1.89 or something to that effect, so it is very inexpensive to pick up on Amazon. It's not Prime, but you know, can't have everything in life. But I just thought this was fun, something fun and different to try. Like I said, I did want to pop on and say hi. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I hope everything's going well for you all out there. Comment below, let me know how you're doing. I'll try and get on here and get some more videos for you guys soon, but just, you know, bear with me over the next month or so through the move. I promise once I get done with this move and we're settled into the new house, there will be videos aplenty, because I have an ever-growing list of videos that I want to make for you folks. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking around with me. As always, I hope you had a great day. Come back and see us soon.